Just sit right back and hear the tale of a broadcast crew who gather around their mighty drink to give their point of view. As man is the panel fire, he shows that he has fun, and Donny, our host, will jump along, guiding us through the storm, guiding us through the storm. Big teams are Rocky keeps us through, he often gets his say, and just alive he knows the girls and everything Dragons win, and everything Dragons win. The Mad Dragon podcast is a journey unforeseen with Tasman and Donny too, and there's Big T and Coco, just the start, Mazza and the other crew here on the Mad Dragon podcast.
Oh, g'day, Dragons fans. Here we go. We've got the under-17s Harold Matthews Cup not too far away from getting underway. And, this is the Melbourne Storm. They are making their way out onto the field. This is how they will line up. Hunter Stokey at fullback, Sarah Saluni and Harlan Smith on the wings. Matafeo and Papatua are your centres. Emmanuel Walker and Max Takava are the halves. Malachi Tapa'u and Harrison Plummer are up front. Kanongata is the dummy half. William and Tawangi are the second rowers. Matamua is the captain in jersey 13. Atena Takuma, Teo Povey, and Tunamafono are the rest of the bench, with Isham Tyrell is the 18th player. For the Illawarra Steelers, Oliver Burton at fullback, Jackson Ballinger and Jack Goulder on the wings, Cooper Morrison and Sonny McGregor are the centres. Taylor Humphries, Jet Brookfield, the halves. Up front, Mace Schofield and Mason Andrews, with Asher Chapman in 9, Cretan Miafu and Taj Barrett, and with Hala Amone is the lock. Chase, Barlow, Fenwick and Cooney make up the bench for the Illawarra Steelers. And we're just about ready to go here. This is an audio-only broadcast, and it will be the Melbourne Storm with first use of the ball. Round 1, under-17s action. Illawarra Steelers, Melbourne Storm. We are a go. The Storm, the first tackle on the 10-metre line. It looks like already getting into his work is Miafu. Involved in those first 2 tackles, and it looks like an error, and the Steelers come from everywhere. Well, this is a game where the result is certainly unknown. The first 2 games had a heavy favourite heading in, but these 2 sides, they didn't meet last season. They haven't played against each other. The Storm relatively new to the under-17s competition, but Melbourne finished 12th last year. The Steelers finished 13th, so they were pretty close on the ladder. Both will be hoping for better seasons, but it's Illawarra right on the attack, and it is a charge now from Schofield. Schofield looks to fight his way over the line. It's been ripped out after the tackle is completed. Well, I think for your life there, Schofield just let that ball go when he felt the arms of Kanongata all over it. They tap and go, and it's with the other front rower now in Andrews, looking to set the platform. Amone's out to the left. They go out the back of him to Brookfield. Brookfield gives it wide. A dummy goes straight through. Oliver Burton scores, and the Steelers, well, they're 90 seconds into this game, and Oliver Burton scores to give the Steelers the lead. 4-0, kick to come. Well, a great start here for the Illawarra Steelers. It's the fullback, Oliver Burton, making the most of the opportunity. Just got the ball, had too much speed, got to the outside of his man, the sliding defence on their own try line from the Melbourne Storm, and they concede very early on in this one. Illawarra will play from in front. It'll be Taylor Humphries with the conversion attempt. Doesn't look like he's wanting to take too much time. They've got their tail in the air. Momentum is flowing. Adrenaline is pumping. Humphreys puts it out to the right, stays out to the right, so it stays 4-0. 2 minutes gone. A great start for the Illawarra Steelers. I could not have hoped for a better start to this game, Illawarra. Forcing the error in the first set of 6. And straight away coming up with points. So the Storm kick off down to Brookfield. He sends Schofield into the Storm defence. Picked up and driven backwards is Taj Barrett. Again, the ball's come free, and they're going to say a mistake from Barrett. Utapau. He was woohooing on that occasion for the Melbourne Storm. The Storm will get an opportunity to strike straight back. Well, it might be an absolute shootout, this one, the way that it started. The Storm were punished for an error. Will the Steelers be punished in the same way? The Carver to feed the scrum. Big boys out here for the Storm. Go to the left-hand side to Stokey. Stokey gets it wider to the centre. So it might be Papatua on that left-hand side. Now the Storm come towards the middle. Matamua, the captain. Plays the ball. Now Plummer. Well, another error. Matamua again asking the question of the referee. And I think that the ruling is that he's just throwing it between the legs. He's not using the foot on the ball. So that's 2 in a row. I think the first one was against Matamua as well. I might be wrong. Because the new ruling, that's not a penalty. It's just a handover for not using your foot. But the referee has picked him up twice now, not using his foot to play the ball. And it lets Illawarra well and truly off the hook. So the captain, he's going to have to clean that up. He'll learn to start using his foot. As Brookfield gives the pass to Miafu, and heavy contact there. Takava does really well defensively. Now Humphreys, some light stepping. Handled all right there by Walker. And they cut out to Amone. Amone up over the halfway line. Brookfield is deep. He'll go back to him for the kick for right on the halfway line. He gets underneath it. No one's going to make a play for it. It's knocked backwards by the Storm winger. I think that's off the Melbourne Storm. The Storm winger saying it's off the Steelers. Which way does the touch judge say? It's going to be a Storm play the ball. Well, Sarah Saluni, I think he gets away with that. No, he's faced towards the Storm, but it's going to be a Steelers play the ball. There we go. Well, we got the right decision. Amone to play the ball. 20 metres in from touch. Plays it back to Chapman. Chapman goes across to Andrews. Andrews sets the platform, centre field. They can attack anywhere here. Dummying, going himself now. Chapman towards the line. Fights over, gets the ball on the line. That's a try. He goes back. He'll point to the spot. Well, great stuff there from Asher Chapman. He had Mace Schofield on his left-hand shoulder. It just saw the defence hold off him long enough, and he still had to fight in the tackle. He pulled out of the clutches of the Storm defenders, spins over and gets the ball on the line. Well, this is a fantastic start to the 2025 season for the Illawarra Steelers under 17s. Asher Chapman adds the second try of the day. They lead 8-0, kick to come. This one an easier kick. It's from pretty much just beside the post, really. Humphrey should knock this one over and give the Steelers a double-digit lead. They're ahead of the clock. And the Storm, well, they've barely had the ball. They've had the ball twice, and they've got through about 2 tackles before making the error. He does knock it over as expected, Taylor Humphreys, and the Steelers lead 10 points to 0. 8 minutes gone. Great start for the Steelers. And Storm, they race back to halfway to get us underway, but they would have to be somewhat shell-shocked. Someone spins away from Brookfield. Some great hands there. The Steelers winger, that might be Jackson Ballinger. Jack Goulder on that side, I'm not sure. But it spun away quickly from Brookfield and just stuck a hand out and stuck. And Monet now goes to Brookfield. Brookfield to Miafu. Miafu, we had the arm free and Chapman wanted it. He had got it to him. Might have been dangerous. Well, another penalty now to the Steelers, and everything is going Illawarra's way to start this game. Jet Brookfield steps up and he'll kick that one into touch. He gets about 3 metres though, so not picking up great territory. Gregor takes the tap and goes to Miafu. He steps past it to Carver. Now they come to Amone. Amone goes to the line. This time he takes the contact. He had Schofield on his outside shoulder. Takes the tackle. Beyond the halfway line. Brookfield had runners inside and out and just dummies and goes himself. No one really fooled the Storm up to it defensively there. Now with Andrews. Andrews again playing it back to Chapman. Brookfield goes to the line, fires it across, stepping inside now Morrison. Morrison up to the 20-metre line. Getting late in the tackle count. Oliver Burton at dummy half. We'll go back to Chapman. Chapman, he gets it across. The front rower didn't want it. They go wider to Humphreys. Humphreys goes across and now almost slicing through. Desperate defence in around the bootlaces of Sonny McGregor. Well, an important tackle there for the Melbourne Storm, but there are hands on knees, hands on hips all over the place. I think it was Harlan Smith that comes up with the tackle for the Storm. But they are exhausted from all the defensive work they've had to do here, Melbourne, and they will want to get through this set of 6. Tell you what, that was another dodgy play the ball from the Storm and lucky to get away with it. Working it out of their own end to Sarah Saluni. Takes it forward for Melbourne. They get out of dummy half now with Matafeo. Matafeo's put into a dangerous position there. All good, says the referee. The Carver gets to the kick, wants a bounce, doesn't get the bounce he was hoping for, and it bounces over the sideline. We still do have somebody out there in jersey 21, so try and get see if there's an update to the New South Wales Rugby League website. They certainly don't have a 21 on there. I'm not sure who that is in 21 for the Storm. But in any case, goes over the sideline as Brookfield. Gets that ball across. It's with Cooper Morrison. The other 2 front rowers combined. An outside-inside play from the 2 props. You've got to be more than just a battering ram in the modern game, don't you? So much skills. And Burton finds some space in around the ruck, gets ankle tap, gets up and goes again. They're up to the 20-metre line now. The Illawarra Steelers plays it back to Chapman. Chapman, they go across to the front rower. Out the back to Brookfield. Brookfield goes wider still. Humphrey steps off the right. Beats one. Stands in the tackle. Back to Chapman. Chapman runs into Stokey. Stokey makes the tackle for the Storm. Andrews wants a carry. They go out the back of him. Amone reaches out. Can't quite get to the line. Takes the tackle. He's a metre out. Chapman then fires it back to Brookfield. Brookfield rolls it in behind. The Storm should clean it up, but will be tackled in the in-goal area. And that'll be a goal line dropout. Well, just clever play there from Jet Brookfield. The referee's called time off. It looks like there might be an injured player. The Storm player just making his way off the field there. Didn't catch a number, so not quite sure who it was, but it may actually be one of their halves, which would be tragic for the Melbourne Storm if that is the case. Teo's going on, and there might be a bit of a reshuffle that'll have to occur after the goal line dropout. Mason Andrews gets the ball in hand. He charges back, picks out a target, will get a quick play of the ball, plays it back to Chapman, who's been dangerous. Brookfield, he's been in everything. Catch pass, gets it out to Ballinger. Ballinger, well, he's got some wheels, but he wasn't quite fast enough. Didn't back his speed there. Plays it back to Morrison. Morrison to the middle with Amone. Amone holds it up. Runs around in behind his own player there. Lucky to get away with it. No penalty forthcoming. Come again towards the open side. And going for another dart here is the crafty dummy half, Asher Chapman. The Storm hold him out. Brookfield wants it. Brookfield gets it. Goes to Burton. Burton gets the ball on to Morrison. Morrison stands in the tackle, hands and knees, plays it back to Burton. Burton fires it back. It's with Brookfield bombing across field. There'll be a challenge. Miafu, he's got position. He gets up, claims it, and slams it down. Creighton Miafu. The Illawarra Steelers, they are absolutely flying here at Collegiate Sporting Complex. They score their third. And it's 14-0 kick to come. Well, a perfectly placed bomb from Jet Brookfield, the diminutive number 7. And the Illawarra Steelers, they continue to roll. Well, this scoreline could be anything with the mood the Steelers look to be in. Taylor Humphreys. Another pretty simple conversion attempt. Steelers out to a 14-0 lead. Melbourne Storm, they have not got out of the blocks yet. They're still in the barrier. Humphreys knocks that one over, and it's 16 points to 0. And continue to be ahead of the clock here, the Steelers. Just on 15 minutes gone. Storm making their way up to the halfway line. And we'll get us back underway. Kick the other way this time, and it'll be Mason Andrews to bring it back. Just trying to mix it up, do something different here, the Storm. Illawarra, they've been very professional in everything they've done so far. Miafu, the try scorer. Goes across to Amone. Amone out the back to Brookfield. Brookfield goes to Burton. Burton goes across to Morrison. Now Ballinger. Ballinger pins the ears back, draws the fullback. Back to Morrison. Morrison skips away. And a long-range try for the Illawarra Steelers. They go coast to coast. And they go out to a 20-0 lead. Kick to come. Cooper Morrison, the beneficiary. But it was great ball movement from the Illawarra Steelers. Jackson Ballinger, he is very quick and does well drawing and passing the fullback to put Cooper Morrison in. He improves the position, celebrates the try. And it's 20-0 in a heartbeat. And the Melbourne Storm are getting routed by the Illawarra Steelers. Well, we should have Dragons fans very excited. A long way to go, obviously, for these young men, but pretty impressive showing so far from this under-17 side. It's the Steelers noted for having great juniors, of course, but they have not made finals in the Harold Matthews Cup since 2019. So it's been a bit of a lean trot as Humphreys knocks over another conversion attempt to make it 22 points to nil. It's 22 zip. And with 17 minutes gone, just 17 minutes into the game, Illawarra leading 22 points to nil. It's been a very impressive start. And it looks like come into a bit of an entertainer's mood now, willing to use the ball. As another kickoff, sits up for Humphreys. And he says, here you go, Mason. Head back into him. So setting it up the same way. Andrews with the first run, the Arf with the next. Now they go to Schofield. Schofield, he stands in the tackle with TRO. Slowish play the ball. Goes to Amone. Amone. Good strong run. Gets the offload to Chapman. And Chapman now is into the backfield. He had to wait a bit too long for Jet Brookfield to get there. We'll have to cool our Jets for at least one play. Brookfield goes out the back to Burton. Burton goes to Morrison. Morrison looking for a double. But the defence gets across. Good scramble from the Storm. Last play, Burton to dummy half. They'll look to Brookfield, you would think. It's exactly who it goes to. He looks to just roll it in behind. That's played at by the Storm. I'm going to say a knock on here against Melbourne, and Illawarra will get another set of 6. Well, you'd think they're $1 to score here, the Steelers. They'll get the scrum feed. The kick from Brookfield, not one of his best, found the legs of the Storm players, but in trying to clean it up, it also found the hands of the Storm players, according to the referee. Illawarra looking to pile on the pain. Brookfield feeds the scrum. He gets the ball from the base. It goes out to Burton. Burton to Humphreys. Humphreys steps off the right, tries to go between defenders, but he's put down. The Storm, they survive one tackle. Now Miafu. He just looks to settle it, try and draw in some defenders and get a quick play the ball. Doesn't quite get his wish. Underneath for Andrews. Andrews spins over. Well, that is a soft try for the Illawarra Steelers. Mason Andrews crashes across. Just hit the defence and spun and slams it down. That one is one of the easiest ones they'll score. But alarm bells ringing for the Melbourne Storm. 26 points to nil, the Illawarra Steelers. They are in fine fell right now. Running downhill and looking incredibly hard to stop. Another conversion attempt for Taylor Humphreys. You feel like he's going to get some practice here today. Melbourne Storm, they've forgotten what the football feels like. Humphreys moves in, waved away on this occasion, so they go up in just 4 instead of 6, but it's 26-0, 21 minutes gone. They are absolutely flying here, the Illawarra Steelers. Really impressive show from them. Well, they kick the other way. They go to Schofield. Nice Schofield brings it back for Illawarra. Dummy one way and taking the tackle there is Barrett. It looks like they've gone to their bench here, the Steelers. Some players out there I don't recognise. Might be Logan Fenwick. See if I can get a number. Yes, it was Logan Fenwick with his first carry. Kahuatara Tira Chase also out onto the field. A very good first stint from Asher Chapman, but an error now from the Illawarra Steelers. And the Melbourne Storm, they've got the ball. Bronx cheers go up around the world. They finally got the football in hand. Let's see what they can do with it. Tena Takuma out onto the field. He goes to Walker. So Walker is still out there. Tena Takuma out of dummy half, looking to find some tired Steelers. They come up with the tackle. Barrett slamming him down. A juggle and put down by Tuna Mafono. And now they look to counter-attack here, the Steelers, with Chase. And straight on the back of that, Oliver Burton. Chase looks down the short side, gets the pass to Morrison. Morrison just going back in behind the ruck. A bit of a hit up. Going across now. Barrett. Sorry, that's Fenwick, rather. And Brookfield. Short ball, that's Barrett. They look nothing alike, but I'm just learning some of these players. Chase didn't look like he wanted it. Fenwick heavily involved since he's got onto the field. Looking to have an impact for his side. Chase goes to Brookfield. Brookfield out the back to Humphreys. Humphreys catches, steps off the right foot almost every time. The Storm so far have been up to the task. Chase fires one across to Amone. He has a bit of a juggle. Then goes into contact as he brings it back in. Tries to offload out the back to Fenwick, but knocks it on. It's been pretty good, Hulla Ramone. Comes up with the error then. They'll hand over possession to the Melbourne Storm. The Steelers leading 26 points to 0. Tries to Oliver Burton, Cooper Morrison, Asher Chapman, Mason Andrews, and Cretan Miafu. They've barely had an opportunity, the Melbourne Storm. Mystery 21 with the ball there. And a penalty to the Storm. And the Steelers now muscling up in defence. Humphreys and McGregor involved in the tackle, and they forced the error. Well, there's high fives, back slaps all around for the Illawarra Steelers. They've done it with the ball in hand, and now they're doing it with their shoulders as well. They are putting on a show for their home fans here at Collegians. Doing a wonderful job. Looking to get the right number of people in the scrum. So far, they've only got 3. There's 4. And there's still 1 short. Well, they had the 6. It's just that one was hidden. All right, well, they've got another chance to attack. Taj Barrett is put down. Chase goes to Brookfield. Brookfield runners inside and out. He steps to the outs, gets it across to Burton. Burton to Morrison, and well, he had sights on his second try of the day. He had just the fullback Hunter Stokey in front of him. He was either going to score or he was going to set up his wing up. Unfortunately, he didn't do the first part, which was actually catch the ball. And Cooper Morrison spills one, bombs a try, it might be said, if the clock goes past the scoreboard. 26 and a half minutes gone, 26-0. The Steelers leading the Melbourne Storm. They haven't quite been as clinical with their last couple of uses of the ball, the Steelers. The Melbourne Storm look to bring it out of their own end. They've been under the pump since the game started. The whistle blew to start it, and they were under the pump straight away with an error, basically from the kickoff. And they were 2 minutes in before Oliver Burton slid across for the first try. And behind the 8 ball ever since. Catching that one well behind the advantage line there, Harris and Plummer. They just they look nowhere near as well drilled as this Illawarra Steelers outfit. Jamie Sizabanek, I believe, is the coach for the Steelers. There's a great catch going back to take that one. Jack Goulder offloaded off the ground with no hands on into Oliver Burton as they look to attack straight away here, the Steelers. Now Sonny McGregor wants a quick play the ball. They haven't had a lot of hill on this side of the field. They've attacked a lot to the left. It's good to see Goulder and McGregor getting into some carries there. Now Brookfield. Brookfield goes across to Burton. Burton across to Morrison. Morrison bumps away from the first attempted tackle from Matafeo. And he comes again with the assistance of Emmanuel Walker. Burton goes down a short side out of dummy half. Can't get the pass to Ballinger. Play it back to Chase. They look for the kick now. Just looking to kick to a corner. Well, I think that one's just going to roll into touch. Not played at, I think, should be the call. Well, he's going to say that with that. It's a charge down from Melbourne. And the Storm, well, the fullback here, Hunter Stokey, is coming up and questioning that call. I would as well. Jet Brookfield kicked it straight into the back of a Storm player that was not paying attention. It goes into touch. And he's going to say played at, charge down. I think a very harsh call there against the Melbourne Storm. The scoreboard against them, the referee against them too. So the Illawarra Steelers with a chance to extend their lead. Callum Cooney with what I think is his first carry of the game. Now Fenwick. We've got pretty much all their bench out there now, the Steelers. Chase goes to Amone. Amone out the back to Brookfield. Brookfield goes. The pass hits the deck and Barrett has to go back and clean it up. They're going to call an obstruction, though, against the decoy runner. So that was the reason why Brookfield were almost able to slice through, was because of the obstruction. A penalty to the Melbourne Storm. And that kick doesn't even go close to finding the sideline. And Jackson Ballinger goes back and cleans it up. He stops before he gets to the defensive line and then accelerates again before he's put down by Tene Takuma. And the halftime siren has sounded. An emphatic first half from the Illawarra Steelers, 26 points to nil. Very, very good first half from them. We'll take a bit of a break and be back with the second half shortly. G'day Dragons fans, we're back with the second half, not too far away. I've had a quick dip in the pool, cooled off a little bit after a hot first half from the Illawarra Steelers. Harold Matt's team, absolutely sensational opening 30 from them. They lead 26 points to nil. It is, they've been very, very impressive in that opening half. Oliver Burton scoring the first try just a couple of minutes in. Asher Chapman, the dummy half, well, he showed a lot of guile, a lot of ruck craft. He's a guy that's got a bit of ability about him. Just spun over and scored. Kritimeafu, the second rower, showed an aerial game. The match of Jeremiah Nenai. He's climbed up high, just got himself into a great position. Was the only person that could actually take the catch. Big, tall, rangy second rower. And he dived over for a try after claiming the bomb. Cooper Morrison finished off a sensational bit of play from the Steelers and finished the last try to Mason Andrews, a soft one. A front rower just taking a hit up, able to spin out of some poor Storm defence. And that is the 26-0 scoreline that we've got. And we're just about ready now to get underway for this second half. It will be the Melbourne Storm to kick off. They'll be kicking down to the Steelers. The last thing they want, I suppose, is for the Steelers to have first use of the ball. But that's the way it goes, the way the cookie crumbles. I think we're still waiting for the Steelers to come out onto the field. Now, there's not a lot of good you could say about that Melbourne Storm first half performance. We didn't get a chance at all to see the front rowers. A couple of mistakes from captain Jaden Matamua put his team under pressure. He looked likely in his couple of carries, but just they haven't had enough of the ball. They've struggled in the ruck. The Steelers have absolutely dominated that part of the game. They've dominated every part of the game. I think the Illawarra Steelers, it's been a really impressive performance from them in round one. But, they've got to understand that they're going to come up against better opposition than this Melbourne Storm team. The Storm have been pretty poor. Even the little 1%ers, front rowers catching the ball for hit-ups about 5 metres behind the advantage line. That sort of stuff, it's not going to cut it at this level. So there's a lot of improvement that the Melbourne Storm are going to need as we are back underway. Logan Fenwick with the first carry of the second half for the Steelers. They work down a short side with Barrett, who's trying to work his way into this game. He's come up with one error, and his work rate towards the back end of that half was really good. So looking to see some more from Taj Barrett in this second half. Callum Cooney plays it back. Amone goes through again. He had Miafu on his shoulder. He almost goes through the gap himself. A quick play the ball. Now Miafu gets up off the ground, has another carry, pulls through that tackle, allowed to keep going. Well, he's actually called held the first time. Well, I think he was right to actually get up and play on because I don't think he was held. Comes across to Amone. Now Brookfield's going to put the kick through. He's going to look to find grass and Will. How's the bounce? It sits up kindly for the Storm. Well, something goes their way, and it's the bounce from that kick. It's about the only thing that's gone their way so far in this game. The Steelers, they look to pick up where they left off. Get through that set, ask some questions. And now they look to muscle up in defence. A good tackle from Miafu. He's got a great technique. And Amone comes up and puts a shot on. Well, the front rower from the Storm there, Harrison Plummer, gets up and pushes the marker. He wasn't the one that hurt you, son. Amone just went absolutely whack. That kick goes down to Jack Goulder, who accelerates into the defensive line. Got up to play the ball. I tell you what, he's held on forever there as the 14 Atena Takuma. And now it's with Burton almost coming through the other side. Tuna Mafano just holds onto the shirt. Now to Brookfield. Brookfield gets the ball to Barrett, and they're up on him quickly. They shut that down before anything can develop. Good defence from Matafeo. Chase Goes across now to Fenwick. Fenwick looks to dive towards that line. It's not the try line, though. It's a 30-metre line. Now Cooney to Brookfield to Humphreys. Again, steps off that right foot. That's going to be something that'll be in the notes of coaches. He steps off that right foot almost every time he catches the ball. Amone hunting for a man of the match award. Doesn't get the offload away there. That is the final play. Goes to Brookfield. Brookfield rolls it in behind. Great take there from the Melbourne Storm. Down around the bootlaces. Not sure who the little fella is there. It's Max Takava, who's taken that really well. I think it might have been Takava that went off the field, but helped off the field earlier in the game. I didn't quite see his number, so I'm not 100% sure, but it's the first time I've seen him for quite some time. There's now Stokey out of dummy half. Stokey almost goes through. Chase runs him down from behind. Yes, that's right. He chased him. Now they're stepping through the middle with Matafeo. Melbourne Storm all of a sudden trying to get a bit of a roll on. Out of position is Oliver Burton for this kick. He has to race back to get into position. The kick goes down. Good communication there. Sonny McGregor takes it. Jack Goulder was right there as well, but McGregor called him out of it. What could have been dangerous, they diffused pretty well there, the Illawarra Steelers. Now the pass across to Brookfield. Brookfield goes wider. It goes out to Morrison. Morrison goes wider still. Find Ballinger. Yeah, Barrett outside him. So Barrett was having a bit of a bludge on the wing. And now he comes in for a carry. So takes a hit up, spins his way, finds his front on the 40-metre line. Chase goes there to Fenwick. Fenwick. Their hands and knees every single tackle here, the Steelers. Chase goes to Humphreys. Humphreys is going to pump this one long. Will be taken by Stokey. He's probably looked the man most likely for the Storm out as Hunter Stokey, their fullback. Even no real room there on that occasion. There's now a Sarah Saluni. He's put down. The Storm just looking to rattle forward. It's been a lot more of an arm wrestle here in this second half than it was in the first. We're 5 minutes into this second half. No points have been added to the score. Both teams just working through the middle third, getting to their kicks. That would have been probably the message at halftime from the Storm coaching staff. Just win this second half. Go out there and 0-0. Start again. Well, there's a great kick return from Oliver Burton. Almost slices through. The Steelers, they certainly looked at the higher quality team. Goulder gets out of that tackle. He's allowed to keep going. He asked for permission. He gets it, and he's still going. Great run here from Jack Goulder. And then at the end of it, gets tipped into a horrible position, and then they get the penalty. Well, the referee might want to chat to the players that were involved in that tackle. It's been put on report. He was fighting in the tackle. He was scraping and scrapping for every metre there, Jack Goulder. Looks like Hunter Stokey's coming out to have a chat to the referee. He passes on that message to his teammates, whatever it was the referee wanted to pass on. Goulder looks like he's okay. He's back into position. Kahui Tira Chase also was with the trainer there for a bit, so I'm not sure exactly what's happened to him. Maybe he just wanted a bit of a drink of water. 6-7 minutes since half time. They're ready to get on with it. McGregor. They're right on the attack now with Sonny McGregor. Pushing him towards the line. Chase. Miafu, he would be hard to stop. He'll be impossible to stop because the Storm just aren't good enough. Cretan Miafu. Again, he's a quality unit. He is a very, very good-looking young player, showing all the skills. Like, he's a rangy edge forward, runs the ball hard, he's hard to handle, he's good in the air, he chases kicks, he does the 1% as well. There, it was just a nice little crash play off chase, got down low, spun over, and the Storm never looked like preventing him from scoring that try. He gets his second, and the first try of the second half. The Steelers out to a 30-0 lead, kick to come from Taylor Humphries. I'm going to say, went into this game not quite knowing what we were going to get. I've got to be honest. The Illawarra South Coast Dragons under 16s team last year didn't perform all that well, didn't make finals. Humphries keeps that one out to the right. He's missed another one. So it's 30-0. 38.5 gone. With the 16s team last year not going all that well, I'm going to say that I wasn't sure what to expect from the Steelers in the 17s competition this year. It's like a higher level in the country rugby league competition that is the Andrew Johns Cup. But they've been incredibly impressive in this first showing. And so it's always hard to tell. You're not sure exactly what quality the opposition is. Both of these teams finished down near towards the bottom of the ladder last year. The Steelers, they've been very, very good. Another set of 6 for them. Still 20 minutes to go. They're leading 30-0. The scoreline could really blow out if the Storm do knock up. Dummy and go there. Almost getting through, and a bit of a leg pull. Get away with it, though. Brookfield, he goes in behind. He saw an opportunity, and they're going to say forward pass. Well, he just saw the gap open up, and he wanted to explode into it. His dummy half had to give it to him, but he'd overrun it. So the Storm let off the hook. Storm with the scrum feed. I catch that one on the ad line from the scrum win. Mystery 21. And Sarah Saluni pushes forward to the 40-metre line. Plays it back to Kenatonga. Stokey now gets to dummy half. This is big number 8. Well, he certainly looks likely. Does Tapau. Gets a quick play the ball, and again, not at marker, so that's 6 more tackles. The Melbourne Storm. Front rower gets the dummy half. He gets the pass now to Povey. Povey! Struggling towards the line. Callum Cooney involved in the tackle, along with Chase. Crashing over, straight through go the Melbourne Storm. And they get themselves on the board. Good, strong run. The Storm are in. Their first points of the game. They won't be kept to a duck egg. The conversion attempt, it'll be Hunter Stokey to step up and take it. It was the 15, Anias Teo scores that try. Conversion attempt successful. It's 30 points to 6. 3 minutes gone, so 17 left to play. Well, it was a big, powerful crash play, and the Illawarra Steelers are really the first time their defence has been tested. And they'll be disappointed not to have stood up to it. They certainly are a side that does have some size about them. Here comes the try scorer. Charges back into Cooney. Also Jordan Barlow. If the Steelers might get some of their first stringers back out there, because the Storm all of a sudden seem to have a bit of running in their step. Tapa'u plays the ball. Pass inside there from Walker. They're well up over the halfway line already. And the Steelers on the back foot. Here comes Tapa'u again. Gets the pass back inside to the dummy half in Conatunga. Conatunga will play the ball back now to Stokey. Stokey goes to the short side. It's with Walker. Walker rolls it in behind. That's going to have too much on it. It's going to hit the fence. He didn't get the bounce that he was looking for at all there, Emmanuel Walker. Goes over the dead ball line. And the Steelers, well, it's nowhere near the middle of the 20-metre line there from Jackson Ballinger. Sent back to have another go at it. And monstered. Good defence. Melbourne Storm, they're certainly showing some heart and some pride. And Sonny McGregor looks to take that away from them. He'll be put down onto his back. Been a better second half, that's for sure, from the Storm. Back out onto the field, Mace Schofield. As predicted, they have gone back to some of their starters, and they've earned themselves a penalty. He's coming straight back through the ruck. The penalty there, pointing there at Anias Teo, the Storm try scorer. And again, time off, just a player back in backfield getting some treatment. It's not because Mace Schofield's boot has come off. Rain is coming from everywhere, so whatever happened, we didn't see it on camera, and come back to have another go. So we're ready to get it back underway. Sonny McGregor underneath the Miafu. Miafu beats one, carries another. He stands, gets through that tackle. He pulls through another. He's been fantastic, Miafu. He'll play the ball back to Goulder. Goulder goes to Chase. Chase goes to the middle of the field. Andrews back inside to Schofield. Schofield, he bounces it away from 1 and 2, stands in the tackle. He wants a quick play the ball. Goes now to Humphreys. Humphreys fires the pass to McGregor. Sonny McGregor slides over and gets the ball to the line. The referee points to the spot. Another try to the Illawarra Steelers. And the momentum the Storm had built has been ripped away in very quick time. And that was a powerful, powerful set from the Illawarra Steelers. Crichton Miafu again involved, made Schofield hard to handle as well. And it's Sonny McGregor that is the beneficiary. Just got through one tackle, was close enough to the line to slide over and gets the ball on the stripe. Make it 34 points to 6. Another tough kick from Humphreys. He hasn't had the best day with the boot. He's had plenty of practice. Generally going up in fours here, the Steelers, which makes the scoreline probably all the more impressive. This one, probably his most difficult of the day, to be honest. It's about 5 metres in from touch. Again, he starts it out to the right-hand side. Never looked like going over. Oh, missed conversion. 34-6. 48 minutes gone. 12 minutes to go. What will be a very impressive win for the Illawarra Steelers. It's just 3 wins last season, 3 and 5. They were at the end of the regular season, finished in 13th. To start the season with a win is a massive positive, as Brookfield can't get to that one on the full. Sits up and eventually gets handed off to Schofield. Now Barrett stops as he gets to the line there. Does Barrett. Easily handled by the Storm. He has been most of the day. Now Barlow. Barlow! He looks to use some light stepping. Gets into the clutches of Tiao. Tiao makes the tackle. Now Andrews. Andrews out the back to Brookfield. The ball hits the deck with Humphreys. Humphreys gets it out, and again, McGregor. McGregor goes wider. Goulder now. Goulder takes on the fullback. Stokey makes the tackle. McGregor gets it across now to the 9, who's back out there in Chapman. Now Schofield rides through that first contact. And hits the deck, 10 out from the Storm line. Now Barlow to Brookfield. He rolls it in behind. He threads the needle. And Stokey does well to stay in the field of play. But then knocked on at dummy half by Mason Matafeo. Well, head goes into hands. And this is a golden opportunity for the Illawarra Steelers to extend this lead even further. Perhaps put somebody else onto the score sheet. Maybe a hat-trick on offer for Miafu. See what they set up. Oliver Burton, Taylor Humphreys, they look in deep conversation. Both hanging around in behind the scrum. Look for a set play here, something they've worked on at training. Brookfield to feed the scrum. Goes to Brookfield. Out to Burton. Burton to Humphreys. Humphreys holds it up nicely and Goulder goes in. Well, that was exactly how they drew it up on Thursday night. That's how they imagined that play going, and they executed it absolutely perfectly. Jack Goulder finishes it off. Perfect ball playing by Taylor Humphreys. Just held it up, and gave it to Goulder to go over untouched. You saw there both the 1 and the 6 lurking directly behind the scrum. Brookfield went out. Goes to the 1, goes to the 6, goes to the 5. And Jack Goulder scores in the corner. Brilliant execution from Illawarra. They further heap the hurt on the Melbourne Storm. They obviously don't have a second choice kicker because it's still Taylor Humphreys with the job. He's hung the last couple out to the right-hand side. Let's see if he makes that same mistake again. Then it starts out to the right. It's coming back a little bit, but again, just stays out to the right. That was a better strike. Another failed conversion. Eight minutes left on the clock. 38-0. Illawarra Steelers leading the Melbourne Storm. The goal kicking had been a little better. The scoreline could look even worse for the Storm. It's been a comprehensive performance from the Illawarra Steelers. I don't know that they're done with quite yet. Taj Barrett catches the ball from the kickoff. Up against that left-hand touchline. Brookfield goes to Schofield. They handle Schofield well there, pick him up and drive him back. It took both front rowers, though, to get hold of him. That means Andrews on the back of that has some smaller targets to run at. And he gets a quicker play the ball. Now it's Burton. Burton, look at the step in behind the ruck. Slow play the ball that time, though. The Storm did well. Now run from Chapman. He comes to Brookfield on the final play, looking to drive that down into a corner, wants it to hold up. Stokey's going to have to play at it right down on his own try line. That is a professional set of six from the Illawarra Steelers. That's not something you normally associate with an under-17s team. They've just been very clinical. Everything they've done with purpose. Because they will be challenged a lot more in future games. They'll have some tougher opposition, you would think, in the Melbourne Storm, but they look a quality outfit. I look forward to seeing them in those challenges in future weeks. Tackle there from Chapman. There's a Storm. They get through their set, and the kick from Walker. More high than long, down to Ballinger. Ballinger, we've really only seen him in space once, and he set up a try. He's put down here. Brookfield gets the dummy half. Burton gets the run off him. Brookfield again to dummy half. Goes across now to Humphreys. He goes wider still to McGregor. Humphreys getting the ball back. The referee's going to find a knock on him here. Forward pass from McGregor back to Humphreys. Well, not the most clinical moment that they've had. The last couple of minutes talking about how clinical they have been, but it wasn't one of their best moments. They do lead 38 points to 6, though, the Steelers, inside the final 5. Those hot times for rugby league. 1st of February, still well and truly in the heights of summer. So you expect fatigue will play some sort of role. Certainly these early rounds of the Harold Matthews competition and all your junior reps competitions. Texas Sarah Saluni. He's gone all right here. For the Melbourne Storm. The winger, he's done some good things. Tapa'u tips that on to Plummer. Plummer, he wants a quick play the ball. Miafu says, no, mate, and he knocks it on. I just got up to play the ball and loses a grip on it. Miafu cramping up. So as we were just talking about fatigue, there's a cramp there for the Illawarra Steelers second rower. He's been out there for the entire 56 minutes so far. Scored 2 tries and probably, you would have to say, close to the best player on the field. Now, well, stepping through, coming out the other side goes Morrison. Morrison's beaten all of them. Eventually dragged down, 20 out from the Storm line. We'll play it back to Chapman. Chapman looks to Brookfield. Brookfield inside to Burton, doesn't throw it. Throws the dummy. The Storm come up with the tackle. He's got his head trapped there a little bit, Jet Brookfield, but he's okay. Amone back out onto the field. That one ripped out. That'll be a penalty to the Steelers, you would think. Levi Kanatonga, well, I don't think there was much chance of him getting away with that. That was fairly obvious. There was definitely 2 in the tackle. They tap and go. Mace Schofield runs that forward, avoids the shoulder of Anias Teo. Now underneath to Andrews. Well, he scored one. Pushes out of one tackle. Plummer can't hold on to him. Now plays it back. And now Amone wants to get his name on the score sheet. He's going to be held up, you would feel. Referee agrees. Oliver Amone. He limps back to the 10-metre line to play the ball. Might have done himself a little bit of a mischief. Now Brookfield, he dummies and goes, not fallen for, swallowed up and eaten whole there by William. Andrews, he scored one soft try. They're not going to give him a second soft try. The Storm defence showing a little bit of resilience, a little bit of pride in the jersey. Now Brookfield rolls at him behind. I think Barrett might be offside, is he? No. The Storm tackled in goals and, whoa, there's a few players down. Jackson Ballinger clutching at an ankle. He's going to try and run it off. The Storm player that cleaned it up, he looks in a bad way as well. The Steelers were showing a bit of concern for him. Ballinger has gone back down onto his haunches as well. He sat down in the in-goal area with that ankle issue. Now he's getting up and trying to run it off again. The trainer's finally going to get to him. Ballinger tries to tough it out. With under 90 seconds left in this game. It's going to be a goal line dropout, but the Storm player is going to stay on the field as well. So in the end, everybody stays on. The Storm go the goal line dropout, goes down to Humphreys. Humphreys sends Andrews back into it. A bit of a hop, a skip. He bounces away from 1, 2, 3. Mason Andrews, great charge. He's up to the 10-metre line on the first play. Chapman gets out a dummy half. He looks for Amone. Dummies to Amone, wants his second. Chapman will play it back to Amone at dummy half. He goes out to Humphreys. Humphreys to Miafu. Miafu gives a great ball to Goulder. And he gets a try assist to go with his 2 tries. And it's a double for Jack Goulder. Well, he runs a great line into a yawning gap to put the icing on the cake for the Illawarra Steelers. They go beyond 40. An impressive, comprehensive, whatever adjective you want to use, that is what describes the Illawarra Steelers in a very fine performance. It should be the final play of the game, or the conversion attempt from Humphreys will be the final play of the game. It's 42 points to 6 with that kick to come. Again, 10 metres in from touch. Humphreys moves in, strikes it nicely. It's swinging too much. It hits the post. It's the left hand upright. Well, he's kicked without luck. 42 points to 6. The siren has not yet sounded, so might have more game yet. So the Storm kick-off gets us underway. Andrews will bring it back. He again bounces away from the first. He's been really impressive as well, Mason Andrews. Now the siren sounds. Now the full-time siren sounds, and this game is all over. The Illawarra Steelers, comfortable winners, 42 points to 6. We've got one more game to go. It's the under-19s Illawarra Steelers up against the Melbourne Storm. That'll be the SG Ball Cup round 1 fixture. That'll be the last game of the day. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back with the final game from Collegiate Sporting Complex in just a few minutes. See you then.
Coco is at Panel's heart, she wears it on her sleeve. As Mustard tells tales of dragons, wins and tuna victory. Tony and the MP crew will do their very best. Getting off topic and I digress with a red beyond our chest. The Mad Dragon podcast is a sheep of frog ridery. Navigating rants down rabbit holes in the land of big red bees. And so our peddlers speak the tales and our friendship is our dream. The Mad Dragon podcast, funded by our team.